In the early 1970s, $73 million in heroin and cocaine vanished from an NYPD evidence vault. Welcome back to Underworld Origins, where we uncover the hidden foundations of organized crime and the systems that allowed it to grow. Today we examine one of the most disturbing scandals in American law enforcement history, the disappearance of 73 million in French Connection drug evidence. How did it vanish? Who had access? And why was no one ever held responsible? In the 1960s and early 1970s, New York City was facing a heroin crisis. The supply did not begin in America. It started in Turkey, where opium was harvested legally. It was then refined into heroin in Marseille, France. The operation was controlled by Corsican criminal networks. From there, it was shipped across the Atlantic, hidden in cargo, hidden in luggage, hidden in plain sight. Once it reached the United States, distribution networks tied to organized crime moved it into cities like New York. This international pipeline became known as the French Connection. It was one of the largest drug trafficking operations of its time. By the late 1960s, federal agents and NYPD narcotics detectives were making major seizures. Heroin, cocaine, but the evidence didn't disappear. It was locked inside the NYPD property clerk's office. The public believed the vaults were secured. They were wrong. Between 1969 and 1972, drugs held as police evidence began to disappear. Not small amounts, not paperwork mistakes. Entire stockpiles were gone. The number stunned investigators. $73 million in heroin and cocaine. No broken locks, no forced doors, no signs of a break-in, which meant one thing: someone on the inside had opened the vault. Investigators quietly began asking questions. Who oversaw the evidence? Who signed the inventory logs? Who held the vault keys? Rumors began to spread. Some suspected corrupt officers. Others suspected organized crime inside the department. Several names surfaced over the years. One of them was former narcotics detective Vincent Albano. But suspicion isn't proof. No one was ever convicted. The drugs were never recovered. The money was never traced. Officially, the case faded. The investigation was meant to be a victory. Instead, the missing evidence left a shadow over the department. If heroin could vanish from a police vault, what else could vanish? The scandal showed how fragile the system was. And for some men from that time, the price came later. Quiet for some, violent for others. The French Connection remains one of the most unresolved scandals in New York law enforcement history. $73 million. No recovery. No convictions. Only questions. If you want to understand how organized crime reshaped cities, institutions, and entire systems, subscribe to Underworld Origins, because every empire leaves a trail.